The Uffizi Gallery is located in Florence, Italy, the cradle of the Renaissance, and one of the most iconic centers of art in Europe. Its magnificent collection has played a pivotal role in the history of Western art. After more than 4 years, the director of the Uffizi Gallery is visiting China once again. As part of an agreement with Bangwan Art Museum, that will see 10 exhibitions in 5 years, including Botticelli and the Renaissance.
Looks like a video game. It could be a video game.
Last time you visited China was in 2019, and now 4 years have passed. And how do you feel this time?
Oh, I'm so happy to be back after an interruption which was way too long. And I'm also happy to see the museum exhibitions are packed, and that's a very good sign. And of course, all the people who come to admire the Uffizi exhibitions, that's a particular element of pride and of satisfaction. But also it shows us that we need to do more and go on into this direction.
The Uffizi Museum is one of the most prominent and historic art museums in the world, in cooperation with the Bangwan Art Museums, and also the plan for the 10 exhibitions in 5 years. What will this bring, and why is it important for both countries?
This is very important that we don't do just one show of the highlights and then go away. We wanted to have a stable relationship, and we were very pleased when it turned out that Bangwan Museum had the same intention. Well, let's just do 10 exhibitions. That way we are here basically on a permanent basis, but always with different offers, which means that who liked one exhibition might very well return to see another exhibition and learn more and more.
Both China and Italy have thousands of years of history and civilization, and the Renaissance period actually corresponds to the Ming Dynasty in China, and both periods are with splendid artwork. Looking ahead, how might the two countries create more opportunities for dialogue and exchanges?
In the Renaissance, in fact, there were already the very first cultural contacts via the Silk Road between Italy and China. We see this admiration for China already in the Florentine Renaissance. This is a relation that goes back centuries and centuries. And also Italy, just like China, is a country which has thousands of years of history and of tradition, and a moment where people really look actively back to the tradition and try to preserve it for the future and to combine it with innovation, just like in China.
There are 48 rare paintings and 10 by Botticelli. Of all the paintings, which one is your personal favorite?
Well, personally, I love in particular this painting which shows Pallas Athene, or Minerva, the goddess of wisdom and the symbol of the civilization, who is holding at his hair the centaur. This is a very programmatic painting because it allegorizes how wisdom gets people out of a more primitive stance and lifts them up to a higher civilization. Another iconic painting is the Adoration of the Magi. That's amongst the most famous works by Botticelli, and we see his self-portrait. That was very, very rare that artists in the early years.
What's a typical day like for you as a director of the Uffizi Gallery?
Every day is different, and that's good, but it is also very wide-ranging. So we have delegations from all over the world to greet and to show to the galleries, but also we have so many restoration and conservation projects going on. At the moment we're in fact reinstalling a series of new galleries. We even had a film behind the scenes which you can see now on Air China.
Do you have any strategies for attracting more overseas tourists, especially Chinese?
Well, as far as Chinese is concerned, we're not back to 2019 quite yet. I think to have an ongoing active bilateral exchange, an exchange of exhibitions, exchange of ideas. I'm sure that there will be more and more Chinese tourists coming through as well.
In this digital age, what do you think art appreciation and history mean to us?
For instance, if we look at artificial intelligence, we find variations based on the birth of Venus or on the allegory of springtime all the time. So this is something that is very, very present in our digital culture. On the other hand, We should never forget that these are absolutely unique masterpieces. They exist one single time. It's just so enriching to see the originals, because now with the new installation that we started in 2016, also you can really walk up to a few inches. Your nose is very close to the painting surface. You can see so many details that before you could not see. To admire them, to reflect upon them, to study them, to come to your own conclusions and learn. That is really what enriches people's minds and also enriches people's hearts.